Salutations.
Salutations.
I think that's how we usually start it.
Right? No, you normally go hello.
No, I say what up, doe. I told you what up, doe.
Oh,
new
okay.
way starting it up.
Whatever.
What up, doe?
What up, doe?
The sky, the ceiling. That's usually what people say when I say that.
Really? Okay. That's what they say.
That's what up, doe. Okay. Welcome to another episode of Taking the Stage.
Yes.
Okay, awesome sauce.
Yes.
I'm the math guy, Steve. This is
Paige Babe.
Paigey Wagey, Paigey Babe.
Mm-hmm.
How was your day, babe? Poop makes scoop.
It was good. I like these days. Our wind down type of days.
Mm-hmm.
We made it. We made it through another one.
What you mean we made it through another one?
We made it through another one. Had some hiccups here and there.
Okay, all right.
I have a bandage on.
Well.
Or as our daughter eloquently says, a bandage.
A bandage. Not a
bandage. I'm like, what 2-year-old says bandage?
The one
She's like, Mommy, you need a bandage? Yes, I need a bandage.
Man, I'm just curious. For the potty, how'd you get a bandage?
Peeling potatoes.
More specifically, peeling potatoes way too quickly.
No, while taking care of the kids.
We were both taking care of the kids.
Come on. She was holding on to my leg, and I was trying to, heed to her. And, accidents happen. And it's fine. Mm-hmm. I'm fine.
What were you peeling potatoes for?
Beef stew.
For a beef stew. Stew beef. If you watch Mark and Kids.
Yeah. It's cold here, so.
Yeah, it's cold, so we decided to make beef stew. Stewed beef.
You like my beef stew?
I do. I just had a sample. I wasn't before you put the extra seasoning on top of everything.
That's really, Steven.
Yummy to my tummy. I think that's what
so
that's what we used to say when it was kids. Okay. But yeah. Today was a good day. Mm-hmm. I mean, we productive and we, as you said, we got through it.
Yes.
Especially being literally freezing cold outside, and then with the kids and everything, that can be exhausting in itself.
Struggling to put them to sleep just now,
both of them.
Yeah.
Look, we got through it before 12, so
they put up a fight.
But they both definitely did put up a fight. So yeah, it was still a good day.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we're gonna be on YouTube after today. This is crazy. I'm posting the first episode on YouTube today. Come on now.
What did the YouTubers say? Like, share, and subscribe.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
That's what Lil Shane used to say all the time.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Yes.
So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Mm-hmm. Or if you're just listening to the podcast, just send it to your friends. I mean, we just two black people trying to make it America. You know what I'm saying?
I
want
to
trying to make it happen.
I really want to, my main focus for doing that.
You look old as a mother right there.
I know. Well, I have to secure the bandage. I have to secure the bandage. That sounds old enough.
Yeah.
But my main goal in doing that is I want to connect with more couples, and I don't know, see how people do their day to day. Because I feel like we talk about day to day stuff all the time, and so I'm like, I want to see how other people live. How y'all get it?
Not saying we secluded or nothing like that. We're just saying because it's interesting to us, and it's also not only fascinating, but we can learn from other people and other cultures and other just how other people their get down versus ours, and not versus, but in comparison to ours,
right?
That type of thing. So, but yeah, today
because it's this is our real life. Yeah. So it's what's your real life?
How do y'all go? Y'all can see their day to day, and
because
we know ours, and we know our week to week, and we know how we normally have our days or weeks go, which can be chaotic to others. So if someone else walked into our week, they'd be like, "Wait, y'all have everything planned and scheduled, and you're
a lot of moving parts." Yes,
it's very very particular how we exactly. Okay, so you have to be here this time, but you have this thing, and then I have to, so. But I mean, we make it work. That's the point. That's the way to go. That's okay. So, let me see your wrist again. Let me see.
No.
Speaking of old, that was called a natural segue. No. Today's topic. I want us to be realistic about ourselves. We've mentioned it on the patio a few times, or at least 2 times, I remember, about who we are, not only in our friend groups, but also who we are just in general, just our lifestyle, just how we are.
That's the question?
Hold on. I'm going to get to the question. Okay. I'm going to preface it by saying, I recall when we were both at UL, and I remember saying, I could see myself living here. Like, I mean, not no time soon, but, when I retire, I could see myself, small town, I mean, Lafayette, Hammond, and I said, I can see myself living in Hammond, when I retire, or when I get old. Mm-hmm. We moved here when I was 32, and we're probably going to be here for a long time. All that to say, the topic of today is, it says, y'all are for real grandparents.
Wow.
Do you think we're old school?
I would say relatively. I think we are traditional.
What does that mean?
Well, sometimes I wouldn't even consider us traditional. Like, I think we are old school, like what we understand to be old school. I think that's kind of.
But what does that mean? That begs the question, right? What does it mean to be old school or traditional, or would you consider yourself old school? That's the question. But underlying is,
okay. So would I consider myself old school? Yes.
Okay.
Because I was raised by who I consider to be old school.
Yes.
People.
But what does that mean? It begs the question. I'm not asking you because I know I have my own idea of what I think old school is, but I don't know what that or what does it mean? What does that mean?
Like okay, I have a perfect example, honestly, because the other day I was talking to Nene and she was like, "You like such and such, like with the parenting because I'm old school, whatever." Mm-hmm. And so I understood what she was saying, like in how you and I differ within the parenting, because it's so weird that you're doing it.
It's not like I'm on YouTube or something.
No, I know. Oh, okay.
I was being a little sarcastic. Also, I clearly this bothers you, so I'll stop. Go ahead.
No, okay. You were like pulling hairs out of it.
I know I'm pulling hair out of my beard. That's the whole point. I was trying to. You look disgusted right now.
No, it's like distracting. But
I'll stop anyway.
But really, I was talking to her and she was like saying like you're old school with the parenting, and like I said, it was raised by very old school by the book people, mm-hmm. And that as much as I tried not to be like my upbringing, I have some of those same like traits of it, and so I do feel like it's you're a good cop, I'm bad cop sometimes, like when we were talking about the kids.
Yeah.
And it was funny that I was talking to Nene and like she was saying that because like I felt like she was calling me old. But I like that, I guess, because that's the structure.
I can see by your wrist. But
no, this is because our baby is heavy and I hurt my thumb.
Paige, I know.
But I like the structure that I have like set in place for us and like for the kids, and it's flexible. It's not like detrimental to them, but it's still like, they're kids. They need that solid foundation, and it takes both of us to do that. You see what I'm saying?
I'm 100% with you. I'm looking like that because the question was, do you think you are old school? And the underlying question was, so what is old school? And you answered neither one of those questions.
I think I answered both of those.
You just podcast this thing up. You was just,
no, I think I answered both of them.
Around the question.
No.
Okay.
I ain't out of trouble.
What is, Paige, this is going to be on YouTube, okay? What is old school? What does that mean?
For me, old school would be like, okay, it's two different things. Because for me, we just finished editing some of our old videos.
Yes.
And we were talking about our grandparents in one of the videos. And I remember listening to myself and I was saying, like, growing up, we really didn't have a voice. Not you and I, but me, like my sister and my brother. And like, we didn't have a voice because of how old school our surroundings were. So to me, that what is old school is a twofold type of thing for me. It's that one side where it's like, it's old school in a sense of, children should be seen and not heard. And then also old school as in like, anybody up and down the street could slap you upside your head type of thing.
I think the proper way we're going to say it is that children need to remain as children in their place or so. And a village raised a child. Okay. We just going to, maybe because we got it. I'm going to edit it out. Don't worry about it. I'm going to edit this out. I'm going to clean it up for us.
Wait, what?
So, but I concur. I think both of us. Okay, so first, what is old school? I think traditional is the right word, but traditional in what sense? I think, especially and I'm speaking to our culture, to the Black community specifically. I think old school in that sense, or traditional in that sense, is village raises a child. Also, make sure a child stays a child in their place, because there's not necessarily a hierarchy for self's sake, but for the greater good's sake. There's a hierarchy specifically for a purpose, and so a child, a parent, a child. There's a reason for that, and so a child needs to stay in that place so that they can learn and understand things a little bit further versus if it's if it's not. Let's play that.
I don't think our 2-year-old understands that. She does not.
Let's be more specific. I don't think she most definitely doesn't understand that, and hence sometimes she needs to be put in her place.
She thinks she's the one to be doing the place with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we got to learn something. Learn something every once in a while. But I do think that we're both old school in that vein, in that sense, in the like you said, traditional way of just living, not necessarily just raising our children, but living in general, where our take on life, I guess, is very old school. I mean, not going too far back. Hold on. We ain't going too far back. We ain't going old school. We going
what do you mean?
Paige, I was hinting to slavery. We're not going to
sorry.
Cheating on this potty. One more again. My word.
Sorry.
In the potty I just edited, I literally she said just put an emoji on my face. I put an emoji on her face. Oh my word. Okay.
I was trying to hold it in. It's hard.
Yeah, I got coffee right here. I actually want a coffee.
I don't drink coffee.
Take a sip of something. You drink some water, some tea, some juice, something.
Not some water, tea, juice.
Good. Great. Okay. Anywho. Okay, so if we both concur that we're old school, then let's talk about us as the grandparents that we actually are. I know. We're just parents. We got a 2-year-old, 7-month-old.
Shout out.
My boy, 7 months now.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out.
7 months and 1 day.
So, in old school fashion, how much do you cook? Oh, no. I'm just talking old school. No. Because I'm asking how much I cook too.
Let's talk about my wounds.
Your wounds? I'm looking at it right here. I'm looking at this. But I'm asking that because, so, it's weird.
Do you mean how much do I cook or like how do I cook?
No, I mean how much. And the reason I ask that is because it's weird when we think old school. Oftentimes we think, okay, woman in the house and they, on the stove and in the oven and pots and pans and things. But then we also think, yeah, but daddy be on the grill and daddy be, and we have these preconceived notions of what that is traditional or old school or, back in my day feeling where it wasn't really often that. Actually, I mean, if we're talking, okay, so, and I'm not talking 4 generations ago, right? I'm thinking old school, like a generation ago, 2 generations ago, max. Even that, it wasn't really like that. I mean, it was oftentimes both parents cooking or dad bringing home something or mom bringing home something for everybody to do something with. Like even the kids had a part in it. So we see these movies or shows or films about, old school living, but it often wasn't that wasn't the case.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
So that's the reason I asked the question is because even though we say we're old school, I mean,
I feel like a lot of times we do kind of fall into those like traditional roles. I mean, but that's just because that's what make our day go by like seamlessly.
Copacetic.
Yeah, it's not really like you need to stay home and do this and you need to do this.
That's what I'm trying to get to, yes.
It's not that. It's just, if I'm getting up early, you'll go ahead and make some breakfast for the kids. Or like if we both have to get up early, like we'll pre-cook some food like oatmeal and boil some eggs for Mello. And
have some fruit ready.
Yeah, fruit. Like, have that stuff out so that to make it easier on one another. I think that's more of our thing. Like, what can we do to make our day go by smoothly?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. But in the essence of how much do you cook, I think it's like...
You cook more than me. Just okay. We agree on that one. Okay. That's not the reason for the question.
I cook the most out of everybody. Like on all of
our family.
Yes, out of all of our family, I cook the most.
That's big facts. That's not what I was asking. That's not the reason for the question. I should say. The reason for the question was to say to bring up the fact that it's not about the cooking parts as far as roles and everything. It has nothing to do with that. Even though it may end up that way.
Yeah.
In the traditional
Because there are some times when I'm like scrambling to get together. You're already going. And I'm like, okay, Mel, you really just have to have like some cereal and a banana right now. And then you'll come in and you'll like make her some oatmeal or like
put some eggs on the
sausage, bacon, like fruit. Or sometimes we'll like do smoothies for breakfast. Mm-hmm. And like that'll be our breakfast. It really just depends on like the the ebb and the flow of the day.
Yeah. But in the vein of are we old school? I think we are still. I concur.
It is still like very traditional.
I think.
But you're not like sitting at the table like, woman, what my food?
Where is my piece of chicken? Right. I get the biggest piece. But I think in that, and I didn't put this even on here, but I think we're more new school, old school type of thing. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of a new take on what old school was, but keeping those same, I don't know, it's not values. I guess it's values, but it's more of that same vibe, that same feel of what traditional marriage was, traditional, connection was, I guess, back in the gap.
Yeah, I guess it's like it's a weird space because it's kind of like we're too old school for like the new school, and then like
we're too new school for the old school.
Like, show. Yeah,
for sure. We caught. That's called a conundrum, my boy.
But in comparison, I do think that we are more like traditional. In comparison to a lot of people in our same age group.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I think we were way old school in comparison to our peers, I guess. Or age group, I guess. Okay, don't peek too far ahead. Okay, hold on, Paige. Hold on. What's your cleaning routine, old school fella?
What is not my cleaning routine?
Man, that's what I put on here because that's old school. Like, you got a cleaning routine and you got this to have to describe it.
It's like
it irked you just now.
You know how some people say there's a means to an end? There's like no end. It's like nowhere.
Not for you.
Near, far. We're a scratch.
But what a deuce is scratch.
What a deuce is scratch. I did study.
I did study. It's a modern reference.
It's a modern reference.
Watch Martin's. Season 5. Season 5. DMV
Blues.
Department of Motor Vehicles Blues.
So crazy.
Anyway.
But
yes, what's your cleaning routine looking like? Ouch.
Okay. I'm a very like obsessive cleaner.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah. It's just okay, disclaimer. I have to explain it.
I know. That's the whole reason why
I didn't know that this was a good question. I didn't know it would be a question. Okay, so stop laughing.
It's hilarious. Paige, that's hilarious that you went through like 13 different thoughts in your head.
Because I'm trying to get my words together. Okay.
Proceed.
I will shoot out a disclaimer. Cleanliness
is next to godliness.
And,
I got it. Everybody
no, in organization, those are things that are like, I enjoy those things.
I know for a fact. That is yes, you're right. You do.
So, okay, what's my cleaning routine?
Like, say you had to just go ahead.
My cleaning routine is to have. Ideally, I would have a solid 2 days to clean from top to bottom.
Top to bottom of what?
Our entire house.
Okay.
Including the car. What normally happens is I obsessively clean certain areas every day throughout the day.
And then as soon as you clean it, what happens?
The truth comes through. And it's as if I had never opened my eyes to see what the clutter was.
So, disclaimer. Paige was like this way before we had kids.
Oh, this
way when I first met her, she was like this. She needed things to be in
if
the
it does not have a place, throw it away.
To be clean, she throw her stuff away. As soon as she sees it's not in the right place and you ain't used it in 2 days. So, but Paige has been like this. Imagine Paige, 13 years later, with a husband and 2 very young children.
Like my eye is twitching like the girl on Encanto. Like my eye is twitching like her.
Trying to clean the same way. She doesn't get it. Ain't no such thing as clean with these children. The second one moving too. The boy moving too. Ain't no such. Mel's already enough. She's 3 hands full. There's no such thing as clean.
I'm trying to help
At least it don't stay clean.
I'm trying to help Will though, because she likes to clean.
She loves cleaning. She loves cleaning.
Yes.
Now she loves messing it up so that she can clean it.
Mm-hmm.
But she loves cleaning. Yes, I give you that. But neither here nor there. Paige.
Okay. What's your cleaning routine? Okay. Just put OCD. Type that in right
there. Caps lock. OCD.
What's your cleaning routine?
Obsessive compulsive disorder.
Constant.
Okay. That means she's old school. How's the reason for that question. Okay.
All right, podcast world. Send me some cleaning routines.
You're supposed to say put it in the comments page.
I didn't know
we're on YouTube now. We're on YouTube now. We're on YouTube now, page. Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments. Put in the comments down below. What's your cleaning routine
with
two under 3. 2 under 3.
Okay. 2 under 3 years old. I mean, 2 under 3 sounds really vague.
I mean, 3 under 3. We're in the band for real.
Says the one who cut herself with a potato peeler like she's never used one before.
I had a toddler attached to me.
How you cut your finger?
First of all,
how you cut your finger?
That wasn't my first potato.
It was the second one. You're right. What's your point? You still got your finger. You don't use it. I know it. We not fancy. We not
getting
rich.
No more potatoes out of me.
We got. First of all, I put my potatoes in there just like that, skin and all. And
that's the part.
Say whatever you want.
Y'all heard that?
Them potatoes be good though. What's
your next question?
How often you go to church, old school? Weekly. That's it? How often you? Okay, it's like this. How often you be at the church? That's a little different. Now how often
habitually.
Constantly, perpetually.
Right.
Perpetually is hilarious. Yes. The reason I bring it up is because that's what old school people do. Mm-hmm. I mean, Steve Harvey got a joke about this. We got Usher board on Tuesday, and he, got everything on every day. We got property.
The Sunshine Ladies. My grandmother used to be part of Sunshine Ladies.
Mm-hmm. I know. Because when we used to go visit them for 3 weeks, like, no, where you going? Oh, just going to stop by the church, baby.
You remember they used to, when she used to ask you to speak at church?
I don't know these people. How you gonna put me on a program, Grandma?
Oh, the program?
I don't know these people. You can't just put. And I understand I'm your favorite grandchild, but I'm not actually. They don't know me. I'm not actually.
They did know you though.
Well, they knew me by fiat, because I was not there that often at the church. I'm like, Grandma, you can't just put me on the program.
You was gonna tell Olde made that?
No.
Exactly.
She had me lighting a candle one time. I was like, Grandma.
Come to the altar.
Them people don't know me like that. Bro, you know how nervous I was? I was about to fall. Well, I was about to fall. I was nervous that I would fall. Hoochie. But anyway, but that's definitely an old school thing. When you stay at the church, like you just said, your grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And you're behind stay at the church.
Don't I?
You've been like all your life building this church mother vibe. You know?
You do know that I'm young, right?
You do know you're not, right? Because you maybe in your skin.
I'll be out there.
And maybe, but in your soul, in the depths, you about 57, 58 years of age. I'm just saying.
Steven,
I'm just saying.
I'll be out there.
You old school. Maybe old school just sounds bad. Maybe we should say you're seasoned.
Not seasoned.
You're from the least to the greatest. You're the greatest.
Steven.
That's what the church folks say. That's what no? Okay. I'm just gonna go to the next question. Okay.
Y'all gonna see.
What do you think old people seem like in your head? What old school old people? What are in your mind? How do you envision them? How do you see them? Like
old people?
Yeah. If you had to, like, how would you describe my grandmother? Like her ways, her thoughts, or her idea. I'm not going. No shade, no tea. How would you describe your mother? She's a little bit up there.
First of all, my mama not old.
How old is your mother, bitch?
Old enough. She's not old.
I was talking about old school people.
Okay.
And your mother's old school. How would you describe it? That's what.
So say old school people. Don't say old.
I said old school people, Paige. Goodness gracious. How would you describe your mother? She's old school. How would you describe?
I think Colada is one of a kind. So, what do you think? Old people seem like?
I give you that. I have nothing. I'm just old
like
school.
What?
But
like what?
Just what vibe, or how would you describe them, or how would you, why would you say they're old school?
I think old people, or older people, are, I think older people are like.
So I would. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just getting my words together.
Okay. No, go ahead. It's a podcast. I was just trying to boom. That's how podcasts look like. I was trying. Well, since I'm a
the trepidation that I had was because
you're trying to choose your words wisely.
In growing older, more and more you find that like older people don't know what they're talking about.
No, not they never knew.
They never know like anything.
I don't.
But I will say that I appreciate the fact that older people, are like no nonsense. I don't
often quote people that I don't know, but I do remember Charlemagne saying, "This is a on-the-job training. That's what life is in general." So, like old people or old school people, they was just winging it the entire time. And as kids, we thought that they knew exactly what they were talking about,
right? And
so, but we realized as now that we're older, like. Y'all didn't know nothing. Y'all still don't know very much.
Right.
Y'all just learning stuff. That's crazy. That's crazy, B. Like, especially like, I think in the recent podcast you talked about how, this generation, at least we've, grown from having to, address our feelings and our mental health and that type of thing. And yeah, old school people they don't care.
There are some people who are like literally out there like willing to die from stress because they don't want to talk about anything. And it's like pity on you.
Yeah, and I mean and you can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them that nothing different. But so I think how I describe old school people is, I guess one way to describe them is stuck in their ways, but another way to describe them is.
But is it really stuck if you're willingly doing it?
But hold on. So hear me out. Stuck in their ways. Another way to describe that same person would be, but they made it through because of their ways. And so that's probably why there's not as stuck.
They just hold on to
it. They're grasping on to the fact that, but I made it this far, doing what I do, and so I'm gonna do what I do. That type of feeling.
But be the main ones to like want you to make some sort of change when it's like you're not even willing to bend. Yeah,
it's a quite a conundrum that us as this generation seeing those old school folks, But also, I another way I would say that someone with old school is that they're proud.
Yes.
Oftentimes they're proud in the fact that, but look what I've accomplished, or look what I have, or look what I have done with my life, or I made it through this life. This life's been rough, this life's been hard, and I'm just, and so I can, another way of describe them is often, not all the time, but often, I'll describe them as wise.
Yes.
Typically, old school person. Well, in general, old school people are wise. They have, and that's because they got years behind them, they got time behind them, So they've gone through some stuff that they've learned from, and
I heard someone say that. Someone said the difference between the baby boomer generation and your generation, like not generation X, those after baby boomers, and then generation.
I don't be knowing all. Go ahead. Whichever one.
But the difference between like baby boomers and y'all, well, they said y'all are the next largest generation, like in comparison to the baby boomers. Mm-hmm. And they were saying the difference between the baby boomers and y'all's generation is that they have been, advocates for certain things from teenage years. And then like we had the advantage of having like social media and like going through like not having social media and then having social media and all of that.
Is that an advantage?
And well, I was saying like we had so many options to where, we didn't really stand firm in any one thing. And so they were like, the fate of the future relies on y'all.
Yeah, it lies in our hands. I give you that, but I don't know about, that being an advantage. So speaking on that point, this is called a tangent, guys. Oh. It's not a secant. It's not a cosine. It's a tangent. That was a math joke. Okay. Anywho. Mm-hmm. But I don't know that that's a necessarily an advantage, because we're literally the only generation that has had that, where you have to, most of your life, have to go to a library to find information until this thing comes about, to where now you have unlimited information in your hands, where literally no other generation has had that type of jump from all the information is in a building, or as much information as you can find out is in a building, versus now it's in your hand every day, all day.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that that's an advantage necessarily, because then that can, there's so many more distractions that you have from learning information that's pertinent to your life. And so, at least, when you were and even with just regular school, and with, and it used to be where the news was, primetime television, right? Mm-hmm. Where now news is at your finger. I have Apple News pop up on my watch every 2 hours. It's ridiculous. Or CNN or something. Or so all that to say, is it an advantage? Or
yeah, I think they were just trying to say like, the baby boomers were like political from their teenage years.
Yeah.
And we just had like options like from jump or something like that. I don't know.
I just think the word advantageous is a little bit weird.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, which I agree. I agree with the sentiment or the actual facts that they're saying, but the word advantageous just throws me off there. Okay, so okay. What's old to you then? Not what's old, OWED, or what's
old
ODE. And old to you is what I give to you, my life. That's an old to you. Okay. No, what is old, OLD, to you? What does it mean to be old? Or what is that?
What does it mean to be an old person, or what is old?
Both.
That's vague.
Okay, what does it mean to be an old person, Paige? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about old school people.
To be old, man, Okay, ideally for me, if I was an old person.
Okay, yeah, okay. Let's put yourself in the old person's shoes. What's your ideal old? If you once you were old in your head,
to be old is to have like.
What was your ideal day?
That's a long thing. Well, look, not even a long thing, but for me to be old would be to, of course, grow old with you, have all children, their children.
No. I rephrase the question. When you are old in your head,
yes.
How does your day go? What does it mean? What?
Sleeping, number one.
Well, we know that.
No kids in our room, in our house.
They dead? You just killed off our child?
I didn't say dead. I said not in our
home. Where they
at?
Oh, okay.
They will have a home of their own.
Okay.
With their families, their kids, all that. Ooh, I want to be like, that like Southern mom. Like Sunday dinner, my kids come over. I cook what I can, but my kids gonna bring a lot of the food.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Then they'll bring the grandkids over. We're gonna pop in a movie.
Pop in a movie. Streaming services don't exist in this time period.
Well, cut on the movie.
It's 1980.
Cut on the movie.
Pop it in. Go get it from the Blockbusters.
And then
Blockbusters video.
I'm snuggling in with my great grandchild like I used to snuggle in my daughter. Right. It's the generations in there, right?
Mm-hmm. Is your great grandchild?
And I'm saying, Steven, bring some more chips from the back.
Jaws. Bring some more of them popcorns.
Still New Orleans with it. But in comfort.
Paige.
And then I leave some money in the back of the TV like on soul food. I wouldn't do that.
That's soul food. Cousin Faith slept with us though. Okay. Cousin Faith slept with her. You gotta watch the movie to see. First of all, the whole reason why I brought this entire subject on the podcast is that you were old, and if you did not know it, the glee that was on your face, you have to rewatch this video.
Wait, I know this whole docket was not about me answering old stuff because you think I'm old.
Absolutely not. It's because I know you're old.
All right, podcast. Thank y'all for taking the stage again. You're about to get knocked out. Y'all be lucky if y'all get another episode out of me.
The glee that was on your face just now?
You asked me about the candies.
I
got some Werther's Originals up in there right now.
Right now. You have on the counter. Right now. She has Werther's Originals. She is old. Listen. You were so excited about describing you as an old person. First of all, that happens right now. Everything you described happens right now. You do it.
You like it?
I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying you old, child.
You old too. You're literally older than me.
I'm not saying I'm not. Why you guys scrolling up? Why you guys scrolling?
I want to see what. I want to see what else you got on here.
Wait. Hold on. Okay. What old people do you know now? Or what do you? So you know Paige? Go ahead.
I know Stephen.
Okay, I'm old too. Actually, okay, look, you know what? We're breaking it down. We on the party. We being free. Cool. Paige married me because she thought I was an old white man. Listen, hear me out.
What?
Hugh Hefner, Sean Payton.
Wait, hold on. Hugh Hefner just got me too. So you got to X him out.
Okay. Well, Hugh Hefner back before we knew. Anyway. Paige is so we used to play this game where we say, okay, well, what's your celebrity crush or celebrity? Who do you it was all old white men for Paige.
No, you lying.
Okay, mostly old white men.
No.
And John Mayer.
No.
Anywho.
John Mayer was on my list. Okay. But no.
Anywho. And I'm like, oh, what? Do you? I studied math. I keep it to myself.
That's a white man for you?
Well, anyway. She She married an old white man and a black person body. That's what she was going. That's what she was going the whole time. That's what she was trying to get to.
YouTube and podcasting world, I did not say those words. When y'all cancel him, don't think about me.
Cancel me? Paige. No one watches this podcast. We can't be canceled. Also, what is there to cancel? I just said you once married an old white man. You found the closest black man you got.
Because I was cute. And you knew how to make that drink that I saw that one time on Sex and the City. When I was able to watch it. After I went to college.
We talked about, on this podcast, I think it's episode 3 or 4, we talked about us meeting, and the drink was vodka on the rocks.
I didn't know what that was.
That's the fancy drink I made.
Young. Look, I was young. I can't say the age.
Yeah. I was young, back in my olden days. You're old, bitch.
I was trying to be cool. I was trying to
Sex in the City at 17. This.
I didn't know nothing about no Sex in the City. My mom didn't let me watch that.
Then how did you say the drink from Sex in the City?
Because I had watched it the summer before college. Which was like 2 weeks before I met you.
You're ridiculous.
It was.
You're ridiculous.
It was.
Are you similar to any of the old people that you know?
I think I'm a lot like Sister Flo from the church. What you mean?
I'm just waiting for that picture to scroll across the screen. When I edit this over, Sister Flo over here. Yeah, but that's... We'll go ahead.
I do think I'm a lot like her.
I concur.
I also think I'm a lot like...
I love Sister Flo to death.
Olde Mae Johnson. I think I'm a lot like...
Johnson, her grandmother.
See, I don't want to call our parents old, but I think I'm a lot like your mom and my mom. I'm a lot like Nene, and she old.
Not Nene.
Nene old. You got to scroll her.
Sister.
Mm-hmm. Make it slow.
I love you dearly, but you old.
She old.
And they're old too. Sure.
I think I am a lot like my girl MOB. Well, I aspire
that's Michelle Obama.
I aspire to be like her. About. Yeah, that's what they used to call me in college. Oh, I guess I am old.
Wait! It just hit her. It just hit her like a pie in the face. That's what he's calling college. Well, I'll be. That's what you just said.
That's funny. They really used to call me MOB.
I'll be. Goodness gracious. I guess I am old. Do you think you parent old?
You can answer that one.
Do I think I parent old, or do I think you parent
You
old?
told me just today that you're not my child. So what you think?
You parent old for sure. You're old. You're old. I parent a little more new school. With the
you're very patient.
The vibe of old school. I'm patient. But also I can be harsh when it comes down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, I'm more like I'm gonna snatch it first.
Yeah, you're more old school, then come back new school. You jump back like, but I ain't mean it though. I'm sorry. My bad. Okay, you good? Can you breathe? Can you breathe?
Not toxic. You calling me toxic?
No. This is hilarious because of what you're wearing right now. Do you dress your children old school? Or...
Hold up. I got this blouse from...
First of all, wait.
Target.
Hold on. Hold that thought. You're not going to just run past blouse. Like, that's not the most old school. Blouse. Paige. You just said the word blouse.
I'm not this big,
in 2022, you said the word blouse.
What you think? I mean, it's a blousey fabric.
Are you trying to disprove that you're old school by saying the word blouse?
What? Shirt?
Yes, that's exactly the word you use. Blouse?
Okay, so what's this?
Hoodie, sweatshirt, sweater. I don't call it a blouse. I know that much.
But you also didn't call it a shirt. This is a blouse. This ain't a shirt.
Nor is this a shirt. Also, I said sweatshirt, but it's not a shirt.
This isn't a shirt either.
Do you dress your children old school?
That my kids fly. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I give you that.
I'm about to say, I dress some
I
kids
give you that.
down.
I give you that. I give you that. That was me pointing out
Shea butter,
you
no.
old. Look at your blouse.
You like it?
Next on the docket, because I'm not trying to go over time. Old school versus old fashioned. What's the difference? Is there a difference?
I will say the difference is.
And old fashioned in quotes,
I will say the difference is I'm old school, not old fashioned.
How you mean?
Dang.
Learn me.
I was about to say live up to your magic. Okay. I will say I'm old school, like, I have old school values. I use old school practices, but I'm not old fashioned in the sense of like, I don't know. I don't eat hog cake cheese like my grandmother used to. That's old fashioned.
Well, I meant old fashioned as far as like gender roles, but okay. That's another way. That's very old fashioned as well. Yeah, I concur. Okay. Sir and ma'am, where do you fall on those? Saying sir and ma'am, and because that's an old school phrase or old school titles, I guess, in the sense of having your kids specifically say those words and you saying them to like the elders or people older than you, etc.
I don't think that they're old school. I think that it's more of a respect thing. I do teach our kids to say that. Well, not there, obviously, but Mellow, she does say yes sir, yes ma'am when she wants to. She only 2, but she is learning it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, sir and ma'am are I mean, it is. We grew up saying those words, right? Mm-hmm. So we and I still say those words often. Even I mean, to teach Mel, even to you, right? I'll say yes, ma'am, absolutely, or even to Mel if she's doing something correctly, I say yes, ma'am. Okay, all right, just to get her used to.
It's not yes, ma'am. It's yes, sir. I'm like, all right, at least you know.
You do which word.
You know both of them, yeah.
But I think it shows respect to the person you're speaking with,
right?
And so I guess that's the reason for that. But it's part of it is an old school terminology, I guess, but it does. I think it's purposeful. So okay, couple more. How about these white hairs I got over here? Like, I got a few white hairs over here. Do you think that makes me old? Okay, wait, I can't even put them in the camera, right? Do you think that makes me old? You got a few over here, a few down here. Is that distinguishing my old schoolness?
I think it makes you distinguished, but I don't think that it makes you old. You could take those 2.
Oh, they're already off page. Yeah, I'm just doing the last one. Bitch. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about what I got on the docket, fam. We out of time already. Come on.
But I think that they make you distinguished. I mean, I know people a lot younger than you who have gray hair, but it's not really a big deal.
White hair.
That doesn't make you old.
But I mean, that just makes me wise beyond my years. No? Too far? Okay, too far. All right, last question. Mm-hmm. So are we somebody's grandparents?
Definitely not. I'm joking.
Are we at least old school?
I will say no. We are Momo and Papa. We are no one's Momo nor Papa. See?
That's a word, baby. That's a word.
See. Okay, but yes, we take care of those who need caretaking.
Taking care of.
And I don't know. I just feel like we're like lighthearted, good-spirited people who don't mind going into the fold and like going to bat for people and like being there for people. And I mean, if that makes me a grandparent, then so be it. But I wouldn't call myself a grandparent. I just would call myself
old school.
Not old school.
Old school is the word you want to use, and you know I was right on key with it. I was right on, just right there. To put a pin in it right there. Boop.
I guess. Yes, you can always find a home cooked meal here. Great laughs.
She ain't lying.
Good time. Yeah.
She got her shoes off right now, ready to cook something.
First of all, I had to take my shoes off because I put the baby in the bed. I was trying not to make noise with my slippers. Right. Oh, look, slippers.
No. You know you had your house slippers. Let's put house slippers.
Baby, I got the fullest of fur. So
not the fullest of fur.
My slippers are nice.
On that note, the fullest of fur. On that note. All right. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for taking the stage. Shout out.
It's
any
so
last
great
things you got? PZ buckets?
No, I'm just excited to be back and to like be expanding, and you guys look out for what's to come. So
shout out.
All right. Bye.
Y'all have a good one. Hey YouTubers. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Also, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. You can also listen to our audio podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Have a good one.